Are you guys excited? I don't know why in my head. Mercury's really messing with me this week. Definitely check out Mercury in retrograde if you don't know anything about it. I hope you guys are having a great day. I know that a couple of my followers that are using my watch list were super excited about the watch list today. So I'm happy that you guys are loving it and profiting from it. I'm just posting up here and then we'll talk about Apple, Tesla, SPY, and more. All right, just sharing it out that we are live right now. So let's pull up the chat as well. Who's here? There we go. Hey, everything monetizable. Hello, Elena. Good afternoon, Akram. Where are you from, Akram? Just curious. I haven't seen you on here. Hey, Asif. Hey, Miguel. Hope you all are doing well. So let's check out the market. Let's see what's happening and where we could go from here potentially, right? We have all of the news of, hey, we've got COVID testing. We just had the, nice, from New York. We just had the debate that happened yesterday. Does that really affect the market? What do you guys think? Do you think that that really affects the market? Hello, Elena, coming in from the UK. Depending on where you are, you might know Mark. He's also in the UK as well. RY dark pool print. Here, let me see. I don't know if there was one, so I will look and see. I will check it out over on the side over here. But I'll add in RY. All right, so RY right here, just logging in on the other side. Okay, so on the SPY for today, we have a little bit, let's zoom it in here. I was messing around with GAN, that's why you can see I have that 45 degree. I was noting how long it takes. You know, we really were in a downward trend. We had about, what did I say? We had 7 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, before we broke the 45 degree, and that brought us to this bar, and now we're testing it right now. So will we continue to the upside from here? There is a potential for that. We have a couple different gaps over here that we definitely checked out. Yeah, we'll add NVIDIA. We already have AMD on the list. Kyle. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out, Akram. Well, you know what? Everything is monetizable. The more you hang around here, you're going to see that really the big dark pool prints are what move the market, because they are buying or selling, and that's where we're going to go. Kind of like, we'll get to Gilead later on, but Gilead had prints and then the news came out. Yeah, we'll look at NEO. I'll add it on. All right, so the SPY, when we look at it, we back it out. I'm actually gonna get rid of this because it seems like we've broken from this upward channel right here. We do have this trend line that we are somewhat riding over here. And I'm gonna zoom it like this. So this is what we see from the low back in September. So we're trucking along, we pull back. We had a 16 trading days, 23 actual days, so just over 3 weeks that we pulled back. Then we surged up, that was 25 days, so we went up just a little bit more, and then we pulled back, and now it seems as if we're having a bit of consolidation right here. Let me pull this down. So this was my, hey, if we break below right here, then great time to potentially short. So you guys can see we really have this area that's been this week has just sort of traded sideways. We came down here, found support, bounced up, long leg doji right here, big run to the upside. Yes, we're having stimulus, psych, comes right back down, and then we're riding this trend line up slowly but surely. So are we going to close above for today? Let's pull it back. The other side should have the 45-minute. Let's put the 45-minute over here. And I have our points of control. Those are yellow lines. So they keep bringing it back to that 425 EMA on the 45-minute chart. I don't know if they really want to load up here so they can rip it higher. On average, the market is bullish. You guys know this because there's always money coming in. Here's another thought as well. If we have the stimulus that comes out, right? And inflation is going up. Well, naturally, that would likely inflate the cost of stock too, right? Because that means that the US dollar will be worth less, so you'll need more dollars to pay for something. Whether it's food, gas, anything, clothing, you name it, it's going to go up in price. Because we're printing more dollars, the dollars become less valuable. So wouldn't that also make sense that if we print more money, that means that the prices of the stocks would go up, right? With inflation. I haven't really looked back into the history and the correlation of inflation and stock prices rising, but it's just something that kind of makes sense to me. If everything else goes up, why wouldn't the stock prices go up? All right, so maybe they're positioning themselves right here. We've seen it happen before where we just have a trading range for the week and then we blow above it. This week before we surged higher, we've closed these two gaps here though, and almost closed the gap. Yeah, we closed the gap here yesterday. So there's no more gaps really to the downside. We bounced off the 20 simple moving average, and we are, if we can close above this trend line and still hover above this 425, I am still bullish on the market. Call me crazy, but I'm still bullish on it. You know, going into the election, we have that 11 trading days away, or 11 days away. That would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of actual trading. So there's a chance. Look, we've come back right now. If we look at our time frame here, we came back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, we came back. This is 11 days, 9 trading days. So how long did it take for us to surge higher from here to here? Well, we were consolidating right here, then it pulled back, and boom. It took us 4 trading days to gain 18 points in the market. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we have the consolidation happening this week again, slowly setting higher lows. And we have a bit of a cloud cover here. So we'll see where we close on the day. If we close back up above 344.60, 344.70, likely chance that we'll move to the upside into next week. We shall see. All right, let me add SFIX on here as well. SFIX, FE, OPK, and UAA. All right, so let's go to the list for today. So we had COF, Capital One Financial, had earnings today, gap and crazy pullback today. AMD as well on the watch list, my watch list. And if you guys want to subscribe, there's going to be a promo code coming up next week. I'll probably do it this weekend. So make sure you guys check in for my live stream on Sunday, or check in the comments on Sunday to find the promo code. I know that I had Dr. P asking me about it, and he was excited about it, and there was somebody else too asking if I was going to have another promo code. And so it is coming this weekend, all through next week. So check it out. So AMD, we've got the point of control over here. It is nice upward motion right now on the daily chart. We still have a downward trend to compete with. So would really need to see it for the longer term trade to the upside, close above 82. They do have earnings coming up next week. A lot of tech stocks are coming up next week. So maybe this was a pullback for the really big guys to position and rip it higher. Tesla pulled back today too. after earnings, great news. However, it's pulling back. Overall, I'm bullish on the name. However, in the shorter term time frame right now, it looks like it is bearish, but we'll get into that. So Guild as well. Guild, I got curious. I bought some longer term, and then I saw, hey, look, we had 560,000 here, and we had 335 down here and 100,000 down here. So roughly, let's see, 660,000. Hey, Google, off. And we had 335,000, so 995,000 roughly. We went and we gapped up above, and now it's pulling back down potentially to fill that gap. However, on the longer term time frame, let's go to the weekly over here for Gilead. We are hitting the multi-point support level. So I'm curious to see, are we going to have a lot of volume coming in? This week in itself has had a lot of volume. And of course, they just had remdesivir, the generic name, I don't remember how to pronounce it, Colvany or something like that, that was approved as the first COVID drug for treatment of patients. All right, let's go to GE on the daily here. And you guys can see for the longest time, this was really in a downward trend. They broke that trend October 6th, and it has been surging higher. Today, it hit the 200 simple moving average, and now it's pulling back on the day. Pretty much everything is pulling back for the most part, except for a couple stocks that are really green. Mattel had earnings today. Check out how it tested the prior highs. That's why it's important to look at the bigger picture, not just your 5-minute chart. You need to have a daily up there as well, so you can see what is happening in the big picture. All right, Intel for my potential short list. Let's pull it back. Yep, had earnings, pulled back. You guys can see it looks as if our point of control is down here, 47.92, just below this bearish level for a breakdown. This is a 45-minute chart. And if we could really, it's about to set the high for the day trading range. No, let's go to 15-minute chart here. So right here, if we could break above 48.50, likely a move up to that 49.50 area, and then potential move to the upside from there. But definitely massive gap down, and likely a good reason why we're seeing the market pull back as well. Tesla as well, pulling back, came down. Now it looks as if we've got a bunch of support down here. And are we going to close above? I was messing around with a 45 chart over here. Let's put this here. It's a 45-degree angle. So we are below that. This would be for GAN with a 45-degree trend line. So looking at that, we are below. Are we going to be able to close up above the 50 simple moving average here today? That is hanging out at 418.23. That's a big area where people might think, oh, this is showing a potential sell signal. However, don't forget, Tesla is not just a car company. They're also a utility company. And so you have two for the price of one, in essence, because of their bailout of Solar City. We also have Fastly that pulled back as well today, and it was hitting the daily. It opened up right here, pulled back a little bit. Looks as if we might have some support that came in, roughly that 74 area. Looks like it's a pretty strong support. Lots of potential room to the upside. We did come down to the low right here of this consolidation box. And in the past, look at what happened. Every time that it came down to this low, it bounced. So I'm not saying, let's see if there's any prints on Fastly today. Nothing really crazy. And you wanted me to check RY, right? Let's check and see. RY had an impressive print today, Royal Bank of Canada. And let's see, yesterday, had one yesterday as well. So we really had a bigger one today than yesterday. So we'll look at it. American Express on the potential short side today had a little trade early, but not really. It's pretty much just trading inside this zone. So not really a trade on American Express, but you guys can see with my watch list every single day, it's super affordable. You guys can use it for 20 trade setups, really. 10 stocks, a trade either direction. And once it breaks down, usually you have a nice trade to either side. Why is this not showing up on this side? Let's sync it to all the charts. We just really need that one. So for today, I said, hey, 28.10, if we break below that, look out for a potential short. Yep, we came down to 27.84 down here and bounced above, and it seems as if this is our point of control right at the moment, right at the round $28.01. All right, so RY, Royal Bank of Canada, dividends. That is probably why we saw some big prints in relation to dividends. So RY had a print yesterday at 74.03, right? So if we draw 74.03, we'll just leave it right there at 74. And then today, right pretty much at open, they had another one at 73.79. And today's was bigger than yesterday. So it has pulled back. Let's see, what was the dividend on it? 82 cents. So right now, if we close above 73.28, that takes account for that dividend. So it might continue moving. Yeah. So that might be the reason why we're seeing these massive prints. Potentially people want the dividend, and that's why. And then in 3 more days, we might see that it is going to be, that it will be sold off. So for now we have, 2.25 million, and that could be it. It could be 100% just related to the dividends, that they're trying to gain dividends off of that. That might be it. All right, so NVIDIA looks like it's bouncing up just a little bit. So let's pull this up here. Yeah, exactly. That might happen. All right, so over here, if we look at this if I was setting this up, I would look at it like this. For in the pre-market, all right, probably be looking at it like that. Hey, if this breaks above 537.60, potential long trade. All right, nice trade up there, and potential short trade down here. Well, they dropped it down pretty quickly right at open, which is a good reason why those first 15 minutes you could just sit and wait. Exactly, Okram. So that's probably why we saw those big prints yesterday and today. And I think they have earnings coming up as well. So maybe it's in relation to earnings, but earnings is still quite a ways away over here. 2nd of December. So we still have a whole month away from earnings. But it could be in relation to 100% to we're also hitting this resistance here. Yeah. All right, back to NVIDIA for Kyle. So how come it didn't change? All right, there we go. So right now, let's get rid of this. Point of control makes it a bit busy, as if the moving averages aren't busy, right? But it keeps testing this moving average right here, and it surged up right through this one up here, and hey, look, that acted as a strong barrier. Now, if we're able to close above 542, my target would be up here, 546, and look at that. That's pretty much the 20 simple moving average, right? We might have some hiccups right here around 544 with the moving averages right there, but this is looking like it might have found a bottom and is slowly setting higher lows right here for NVIDIA. And again, they have earnings coming up the 18th of November. So they are not reporting with the rest of large tech stocks. A lot of stocks right now are looking a bit oversold on the Stochastics. Not a reason to get in or get out. It's just something that I look at to see, hey, what's going on? More times it will be accurate when it is oversold than overbought. Overbought, it can keep going up because the market is irrational. Shorts get in, they get squeezed, and it just continues. Much like JMIA, right? Look at this one. This is another one like JKS, where people are just getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. Maybe there's some selling taking place today, and then we might see that we might gap up and surge even higher over the next week. So let's look at NEO. So NEO, and Snap was a beast today too for a third day after earnings. NEO, not a surprise. We had a big consolidation area up here yesterday. It broke down and then it really had a lower high. So we're in a bit of a downward trend at the moment. If we pull it back over here, let's actually do it on the daily chart. So if we do this and this, we're in a bit of a downward trend, right? We have hit the moving average right here. Does look as if it's found support and bounced, right? So we're at the bottom. So maybe we will see that we will bounce up and come up roughly to 27.50. So there might be a bit of a retracement. It's going against the overall trend right now, which is down. And if we can break that 27.50 area, maybe we'll break out to the upside. So I'll put this down here just, or 27.60 even, right there. Would look for that break for it to continue to the upside, which is possible. However, this is a fairly steep decline. It takes more energy and volume, momentum to break out of the trend. When it's a steeper trend to the downside, it can be harder to break. When it's a shallow trend, like over here, this was a shallow trend, right? That's pretty shallow. Then once you have the volume, it can take off fairly easily, but it takes more energy, almost like if you think of it like physics. If it's going down a hill, rolling down the hill, then it might take more energy to really stop that sort of avalanche or snowball effect or rock slide effect when it's coming down the hill. And then when it does, when there's a lot of volume, then it will shoot up pretty quickly, and that comes as well from the short squeeze aspect of it. All right, Dr. P. Hello, Jane. There's a Citron report coming out after market close or over the weekend. They say China or BABA is imminently going to buy JMIA. African market is too big for China not to go after it. So it's a buy the rumor, Paul, potentially. And then when it comes out, it might be a sell the news scenario. All right, so SFIX, we're coming up. We have a resistance. I see it over here on the daily as well as right here. And it didn't sync. Oh, you're welcome, Okram. Anytime. Happy to help, guys. And of course, this is just my opinion of just what I see. I have no emotional attachment to them. So that's the way that you should try to keep it, right? So here we have a resistance that was broken. Some volume came in, came up, new resistance up here, almost a head and shoulders. Potentially, this might have just been a random spike to the upside and then it pulled back down. So I'd watch, hey, if we breach $34, there might be more of a move to the downside. And that's looking at it from over here on the left. FE, is that an iron company? No, First Energy. That's the old chemistry coming out. FE. Where's Bad Scientist today? He's not here. Gonna have to give him a slap on the wrist. Just kidding. All right. So, pull it up here, 32.40. All right, you guys can see tested, came back, broke through. Yep, look at the volume when it broke through. All right, came up, set a new resistance up here, 32.30. 33.20. Pulled back, and now it seems like it's in a bit of a downward trend right here on the shorter time frame, like 45 minutes. Right there. So will this come back down here? It very well might, to 32.60, and then gain some more. We do have this moving average on the daily chart that might be acting a bit as resistance as well. So I'd keep that on watch for it. OPK. All right, OPK Health. So OPK, looking at it, we had a big consolidation area right here. Lots of buying, it looks like. Then once it broke, surged up, resistance, a bit of a double top, also testing a support level over here. And it's pulling back on the shorter time frame, 15 minutes, was in an upward trend, broke down this morning, and it seems to potentially be following that upward trend again on the shorter time frame here. Yeah, just above it. So if this can close up above yesterday's high, so if it could close above 434, there's a good chance that it will reverse and continue up. See how it sort of came back, consolidated down here, a couple of days, and then surged higher again? So we might see that we have a triple top coming up, where it'll come up to 460, but it also has to break 432. Yeah, 434 yesterday. We want to see it close above there, 435 to the long side. UAA, Under Armour, they have earnings coming up. You know what? I feel like Under Armour statistically pulls back on earnings. I don't know why. I feel like that. There was a time where it just was hemorrhaging money and it was never doing well, and it seems like they always have sales going on online. Maybe that's my personal opinion on it, but sometimes it can be indicative of what's happening, right? So when we look back, let's look at it on a bigger time frame. We have the earnings coming up. We're hitting a resistance over here, looks like. And we have potential move up to 1522. Might have dollar move to the upside here, which still wouldn't be bad, right? It's a dollar out of $14 stock would be roughly 8%, right? So that might have a surge up into earnings. When we look back at last October, 1, 2, 3, 4, November is when they reported, and it looks like we had a massive gap down, right? What happened? They had 4 cents and it gapped down on them. How about this one? Gap down. This day, gap down. It seems like, I don't know why, Under Armour for the past has really been gapping down on earnings. Gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down. Will it repeat itself? Yeah, let's look at Chewy. Sridhar. All right, Chewy. So Chewy's coming back, pulling back down. However, this is my 21 EMA that it's bouncing off of today. It's not that far. I mean, it's still pretty far away from the 50 simple moving average, but you can see every time that it hit that 50 simple moving average, just looking at the price, right? It bounced, came here, hovered around, bounced, broke out up above. A lot of interference today. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Donald. So I would watch it to see if it can break below 61.32. I might use that as my stop if I were to get in long here. But I would like it to be more curling up before going into it, like this, right? You see, aha, it's curling up. Hey, look, here we are crossing the moving averages up. That would be a better time than trying to catch it on the downside. All right, let's see. Let me see, Donald, if I can. I'm not going to really mess with it right now, but I will try it out. I will play with the volume so that it'll hopefully be better this weekend, and I appreciate that heads up. All right, guys, that is going to be it for today. I am on Ticker Talker in just a couple minutes, so please keep that in mind. I got to wrap it up for today. Yeah, or it's where it's like they throw the frisbee and then they bring it back, and then they throw the frisbee and then they bring it back on Chewy. All right, guys, have an amazing weekend. I will see you all on Sunday at 1:30. Come check it out. And Dr. P, if you weren't here when I mentioned it before, I am going to be giving out that promo code on Sunday. All right, Talk to you guys